This island was once covered in forest. Now it's being transformed into a global hub for nickel, a metal crucial for making electric vehicle batteries. The Indonesian island of Sulawesi feeds the world's largest battery makers, who power virtually every major seller of EVs. And that's coming at a major cost.
Debu, asap, lumpur. Di sini so tidak ada tempat mengadu. Jadi memang masyarakat begini-begini nih.
Indonesia's nickel industry shows no signs of slowing down. It continues to attract tens of thousands of workers from across the country, even if the jobs could kill them.
13 people have died and dozens more are injured after an explosion at a nickel plant in Indonesia.
The Ministry of Manpower has sent a special team to investigate the cause of the explosion.
People in Sulawesi say they are risking their lives and health to make a living. So what is the real cost of your electric vehicle?
If you want to make electric cars that can go a long way on a single charge, batteries with a high nickel content are a very good way to do it. Adding nickel to battery cells increases their energy density. Indonesia has these enormous nickel reserves. That's not new. What has changed in the last 10 or so years is a number of advances in the technology for processing nickel, and that created really a gold rush.
Chinese companies saw an opportunity in Indonesia, which also has cheap labor and energy. So they started building nickel facilities across the country. The largest one is controlled by the top seller of nickel, Tsingshan. It's called IMIP and sprawls across the seaside in Morowali.
This is a place that occupies a land area that is about 10 times larger than Central Park in New York. It looks like this incredibly large industrial facility was just dropped down in the middle of what was really jungle and rice paddies, even 15 or 20 years ago.
As a result, Morowali's economy has been booming. It's grown by nearly 600% between 2015 and 2022.
Itu sangat baik sekali karena dapat membuka peluang kerja untuk anak-anak yang tidak kerja.
Now, there are big drawbacks. There is air pollution. Cheap power in Indonesia comes from coal. These are very dirty facilities.
Kita di 5 tahun terakhir ini memang ada peningkatan kunjungan pasien dari penyakit yang berdampak polusi itu sendiri. Di wilayah kerja kami ini di luar ISPA, TB itu kita sudah dapatkan pada anak yang dulunya itu tidak ada kasus seperti itu.
Jadi anak-anak itu terganggu kesehatannya, seperti mereka itu biasa cepat batuk-batuk. Nah, selain itu ketika kita juga melap kaca di jendela, tebal ya, debunya itu sangat tebal. Bahkan juga biasanya di meja-meja ya, meja-meja siswa itu setiap pagi harus kita lap-lap dulu sebelum melakukan pembelajaran.
When we are talking about a metal that is being used for electric vehicles, which are supposed to help us deal with climate change, to make transportation greener, producing one of the key inputs with coal is problematic.
Around the island, trash is piling up, and signs of pollution are everywhere. On top of the environmental damage and concerns around health, there's the issue over unsafe working conditions. On Christmas Eve of 2023, a fire broke out at a smelter for stainless steel located in IMIP. The blaze killed 21 men and injured many more. Workers we spoke to said injuries on the job are common because of the lack of safety gear. They asked for anonymity for fear of losing their jobs.
Kecelakaan kerja yang paling sering saya dengar itu dia terjepit alat berat. Ada kejadian juga kemarin ada jatuh dari ketinggian. Ada juga yang kepotong itu tangannya. Banyaklah kejadian, hampir tiap hari kejadian.
There have been similar incidents in other facilities. About 4 hours drive up the coast from Imip is a smelting facility called Gunbuster Nickel Industry. This plant in North Morowali was set up by Chinese metals company Jiangsu Delong.
In December 2022, 2 gunbuster workers were trapped in the cab of a crane when coal dust caught fire beneath them. They burned to death. One of the workers was 20-year-old Imede Defri Hari Jonathan.
Defri itu adik kandung saya. Tahu resikonya kerja di tambang itu lebih besar dari kerja di desa begini. Ada saudara bilang dia beruntung sekali dapat kerja di bagian host crane itu karena tempatnya bagus, ber-AC, dan bukan di bagian tungku. Jadi untuk biaya waktu dari rumah sakit sampai di otopsi dan sampai di rumah duka itu kan sudah ditanggung dari pihak perusahaan. Dan pihak perusahaan juga memberi lagi kurang lebih 13 juta. Sudah termasuk dengan gaji dari Defri juga itu. Puas. Karena maksudnya mereka maulah bertanggung jawab. Tidak lepas tangan setelah kejadian itu.
The parents and sister actually told me they hadn't spent it because they felt, and this is what the father said, and this really stuck with me, the money is like Jonathan's body. How could I spend it?
Ketika dia memutuskan untuk kerja di sana, dia ingin membantu orang tua, terlebih membantu perekonomian orang tua. Dan hanya satu yang sering dia bilang, dia ingin buat rumah untuk mama dan bapak. Itu saja.
After the accident that killed Jonathan, workers at Gunbusters staged protests. They turned violent, claiming 2 more lives. This is a video of a clash at Gunbuster taken by one of the workers. The unrest led Indonesia's human rights regulator to launch an investigation. The report found, quote, unsafe working conditions, lack of protection for workers' health and welfare, and disregard for corporate responsibilities.
Kecelakaan kerja yang terjadi itu saya sangat khawatir karena takutnya memberikan dampak besar buat keluarga saya juga dan buat diri saya sendiri apabila mengalami cacat permanen sampai menimbulkan kematian. Kemarin ada salah satu teman saya yang terkena percikan potongan besi itu sampai menimbulkan cacat permanen.
Saya masih kerja di sana karena dengan keadaan cacat seperti ini susah untuk mencari pekerjaan lain. Mau tidak mau untuk menafkahi keluarga ya saya harus kerja.
People who live in the surrounding community, they don't feel they have any choice because there aren't a lot of jobs in rural Sulawesi, so this is what you do.
Saya nganggur, negaranya perusahaan. Kita ada pertemuan. Dia akan ada pertemuan, kita ada demo di Pentina sampai sekarang tidak ada. Apa kira-kira pemerintah yang ingat kita orang. Sekarang tidak ada pemerintah yang mengingat kita orang, kasihan. Cuma janji palsu.
Under Jokowi, the president who is leaving office this year, The government has been very enthusiastically in favor of what they call downstreaming, meaning bringing this processing onshore, forcing companies to do value-added activities in Indonesia. The government, while they've acknowledged some of these criticisms, have mostly stuck to the policy, and that includes the incoming president, Prabowo Subianto.
I can say Indonesia nickel downstream program, we are over and over success. That's why the whole world say that Indonesia crashed the nickel market.
We have seen this enormous expansion of the Indonesian nickel industry over the last 5-10 years. There is now a huge amount of nickel in the world. As a result, prices have come down. And this has created a crisis, actually, in all of the nickel-producing countries that are not Indonesia.
They said Indonesia, we made the dirty mines. I'm asking, what is the definition of the dirty mine, of the clean mine, of premium nickel?
This has been a big economic success story despite the environmental and human cost. And certainly decision makers in Jakarta don't intend to wind back their promotion of this industry anytime soon. Forecasts from Bloomberg NEF suggest that at the current rate things are going, Indonesia could account for something like 2/3 of global nickel supply by the end of this decade. So it will be the absolutely dominant producer. It's a really vivid example of how transactions that we think of as being fairly mundane, buying a car or something thousands of people do around the world every day, really do have effects on real people in real places, potentially very far away.
Mengenai kayak mobil listrik, memang saya pernah dengar isunya atau bahkan dengar dari beritanya, tapi di sini tuh belum ada. Saya belum pernah juga lihat yang mana, begitu.
Untuk fungsinya sih kurang tahu. Saya kurang tahu apa, tapi karena cuma perusahaan ini yang ada, jadi ya otomatis kita ramai-ramai untuk kerja di sini.